Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is the show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. The question that we're going to be covering today comes from a woman who is going to hire a house cleaner, and she wants to know what are the questions I should ask the house cleaner when they come to my house to bid the job. That is an excellent question because it's going to vary a little bit depending on what is important to you. Okay, so somebody comes to your house. These are the kinds of questions you want to ask. First of all, you want to ask, when you come to my house to clean, do you clean alone or do you bring a team of people with you? For some people, that makes a really big difference. Is this person that's bidding the job, is this the same person that's going to be cleaning my house? Or is this the owner of the company and they're going to be sending someone else out? Am I meeting right now the person that's going to be cleaning my house? That's kind of an important question. So you want to make sure that you know right up front who it is that's coming to clean your house. And then second of all, is just one person coming, or are they going to bring 2 or 3 people? Are those people going to change every time? What are the rules for who's going to be in your house? Some people get really squirrely about having somebody come into their house and touch all their stuff and be around their family and their kids and their pets and their elder parents and all these things. And then next time it's somebody completely different. Okay, these are perfect strangers coming into your home. So you want to make sure that you know who's going to be there. Then another question you might ask is, let's suppose that my cleaning falls on a holiday. Do you still come? Do you work on holidays? And if you do you charge more money? Because I know a lot of house cleaners, they do. They charge more money if they have to clean on a holiday. And some just refuse to work holidays altogether. So you need to understand what that policy is so that there are no surprises. If you're planning a party and your house cleaner doesn't show because it's a holiday or something, you need to be aware of that. Another question might be, what are the hours that you're going to come? Do you give me some kind of a range? I'm going to come between 8 to 12, or do you say I'm going to be there at 8 a.m. and you show up at 8 a.m. sharp? I was always one of those house cleaners that if I said I would be there at 8 a.m., I was there at 8 a.m. Not a minute before, not a minute late. I was there exactly on time. The interesting thing about that was all of my clients came to expect that. And when they referred me, they would say, if she's going to be there at 8 a.m., she will be there at 8 a.m. At 8:05, if I wasn't there, I died. Okay? Something tragic had happened if I wasn't there when I said I was going to be there. On the rare occasion that I was going to be a minute late, I would always text the client and say, I'm running 2 minutes late. I'm so sorry, I'll be there in 2 minutes. So as long as you and the house cleaner have the same policy and you know what to expect, you're not going to kick around for an hour waiting for your house cleaner to show up and they're just not there. Now, I know house cleaners that are very creative people and they kind of just fly by the seat of their pants and they show up whenever they feel like it. And that's a huge inconvenience to a client, especially if the client doesn't trust you enough to give you a house key. So now they've stayed at home from work for an extra hour to let you in the house, and then lo and behold, you're not there. Now you made them late for work before you ever even came to clean it. Now they're ticked off with you, right? So you want to make sure that if a house cleaner is going to come at 8 a.m., that they will be there at 8 a.m. If they have a range and they say we will be there from somewhere between 8 to 10, that is your range. That is what you can kind of expect. But get that cleared up with a house cleaner up front so there are no surprises. Another question that you might ask them is, what is your preferred payment method? Now, for me, I did not prefer cash because it's hard to keep track of. And I do pay my taxes, and so I would prefer to keep a paper trail. It's also easy if a customer pays you cash to say, oh, I paid you last time for this time. No, you didn't. Well, I paid you cash. No, you didn't. So because cash doesn't trace like a check or a credit card statement or whatever, I always preferred that they pay me with a check or a credit card. And I do accept credit cards, and I recommend that if you're a house cleaner that you do accept credit cards. And I recommend that if you are a customer and you prefer paying by credit card, that you make that agreement up front so that the house cleaner knows what to expect from you. Because if one time you give her a check and the next time you pay by credit card and then one day it's cash, again, that's hard to keep track of. So once you're in the books, once you have a preferred method of payment, pick that payment method and just stick with it. Unless something really tragic happens and you get off whack or something and you have to pay a different way. But just make sure that you understand that up front. You can also ask questions like, do you have the ability to do special projects? I know a lot of people who hire house cleaners like to have special projects. And so one day they might say, could you defrost my freezer today? Or could you organize my child's closet? Or I have a relative that's coming in from out of town and I want to make sure that the guest room is ready. Could you get this guest room ready today and make sure that there are no clothes in that closet and help me move a few things so that this room is ready for my family or whatever. And so if you have special requests like that, that is important to find out how that particular house cleaner works around special requests. Some people like to do special requests on the fly. Like I say, they're creative people and they're like, sure, throw whatever you like at me. And they can do that because they either charge by the hour or they charge by the job and they will just add it on as an extra payment. Having said that, there are house cleaners who require you to call in advance. You call a week in advance, or you call 3 days in advance, or you call however far in advance you need to call in so that they can get that on that schedule and they can allot for you to have that particular window of time. Also that they can charge you the extra money so that if you're a check writing person, you can leave that extra money for them when they get there. Anyway, these are a couple of questions that I would recommend you asking your house cleaner just to make sure that you're on the same page and so that there are no surprises. After that, there are probably 50 or 60 other questions that you may want to consider asking, but it's going to come down to what is important to you because you're hiring someone to come into your home. So you got to cover the bases of what is important to you. And like I said, it's different for every person. All right, that's it for today. If you have any questions, head on over to askahousecleaner.com. There's a little blue button there. You click on the blue button, ask your question. If you like this tip, please pass it along, tweet it, pin it, post it, share it. And until I see you again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.